men's doubles, and the pair that won last week at the Arctic Open, Liu Shangshu and Tang Ning, up against the Japanese number 6 seeds Rin Iwanaga and Kia Nakanishi. The Japanese pair, a left and right-handed combination. Well, when we look at the quarter-final stage onwards, you can see 3 pairs from China, all in the top half of the draw, 2 pairs from Japan and 2 from Korea, 1 from Malaysia. Only 4 different nationalities, making it the least diverse of all 5 disciplines. But 7 seeds, and look at that, all 4 quarter-finals were 2-game matches. In the top and bottom half of the draw, we had 2 pairs at semi-final stage who had reached the final previously, Matsuyama and Shida, and the Koreans, Baek-ha-na and Lee So-hee. But as you can see, both beaten finalists from previous years lost in the semi-final stage. So as far as the race to the World Tour finals are concerned, well, the 2 pairs in the finals are number 1 and 2 on that list. And in fact, whatever happens in today's final, Iwanaga and Nakanishi cannot overtake Liu Shangshu and Tang Ning. And in fact, the top 5 will remain the same. The only movement in after that will be Matsuyama and Shida, who were semi-finalists here, will move up from 7 to 6. The number 1 seeds from China, Liu Shangshu and Tang Ning, who come Tuesday will be the number 1 pair on the world ranking, not the race to the World Tour finals, which we've just seen, but as far as the world rankings are concerned, they will overtake the reigning world and Olympic champions Chen Qingcheng and Jia Yifan. Their opponents for today's final, Rin Iwanaga and Kia Nakanishi, achieved at least 1 place better than they achieved last year when they were beaten in the semi-final stage. So this is the 3rd consecutive Denmark Open for this Japanese combination. Well, a first ever final for the Japanese pair at 750 level. For their opponents, Liu and Tang, it is actually a 3rd final at 750, and they've never lost a 750 final previously. Well, this will be a 3rd meeting between these 2 pairs, and as you can see, honours are shared. Last time they met was in the semi-final of the Malaysian Open, the first of the 1,000 events this year. And as you can see, it was 2 straight games, a match only lasting 47 minutes in Kuala Lumpur.
Circle, receive. Receive. Read to receive. Kia to receive. Tang.
So the soon-to-be world number 1s, Liu Shangshu and Tang Ning, winning the toss of the coin and choosing to start the far side of the courts.
Liu and Tang are currently ranked number 2 in the world.
This is the youngest player on court at the age of 20, Liu Shangshu, from Liaoning, a province, coastal province on the northeast coast of China. Well, they're only enjoying their 2nd week as world number 2s, but as I was saying, they will replace the Olympic champions as world number 1s on Tuesday. So number 1s on both the race to the World Tour finals and the world ranking is pretty special. Tang Ning is 21 years of age from Hunan, and this is their 7th final in their 14th tournament of the year. So 50% of the tournaments that they've played this year, they've reached the final. No wonder they're going to be number 1s. I beat the defending champion, Jia Yifan, playing with a new partner, Li Wenmei, in the quarter-final. And then beat the Olympic bronze medalists and beat the finalists last year, Matsuyama and Shida, in yesterday's semi-final. The right-hander in the Japanese combination is Iwanaga from Yanai in Yamaguchi Prefecture. That equates to 5'5½", and they're enjoying their 8th consecutive week at their career high of 6. Kia Nakanishi from Kanagawa is the older of the two at 28 years of age. It's their 5th final of the year, and they've won all 4 previous finals that they've played, 2 at Super 300 level and 2 at 500 level. Well, they got revenge for their semi-final defeat against the Malaysians, Tan and Tina, in the quarter-final, and then beat the beaten finalists from 2 years ago, Baekar and Lee So-hee, in a most extraordinary semi-final yesterday. The Japanese pair had been 8-15 down in the deciding game. They won 10 straight points, going 18-15 up. Really was quite extraordinary. So, as we saw, our court officials for this one are from Denmark and Norway.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, Tan Ning and Liu Chengchu, China. And on my left, Rin Iwanaga and Ki Nakanishi, Japan. Tan Ning to serve, Ki Nakanishi, level, play.
So the traditional bow, a sign of courtesy to all 4 corners of the court by Japanese players.
Service over. 1 love. Service over. 1-0.
So, Steen, I was saying that Liu Shangshu and Tang Ning will take over as world #1s, and for those that perhaps don't understand the significance of that, not only are the Olympic champions Chen Qingchen and Jia Yifan reigning world and Olympic champions, they've been world #1s for a total of 231 weeks and 104 consecutive weeks.
Yeah.
So this is significant.
It really is, and we've discussed it earlier how talented Chen and Jia were, and they signaled that already from their junior years, winning multiple junior world championships, and they've really lived up to that. But the question mark is whether we are in a transition state here where Tan and Liu is about to take over, not only on the rankings but also live. If Chen Qingchen is coming back currently, she's out on what is it called? I've forgotten. But she's not. She has protected ranking. That
Yes.
was
Yes.
that was what I was looking for. So she cannot play for 3 months at least due to injury or other things that prevents her from playing. And that means that the minimum time you're out is 3 months. So she could theoretically come back for the World Tour finals. But whether that will happen, that's still to be seen.
Yeah. Yes, and what we don't know is whether she wants to come back and continue playing. 4 world titles, the Olympic gold now, having been Olympic silver medalists in Tokyo. What else is there to achieve?
Yeah, that's exactly the question.
So it really becomes a question of how much do you love the simplicity of hitting a shuttle and competitions. And if you were just completely governed by the goal of Olympics, then maybe you don't want to come back.
Yeah, you don't know. Good defense.
Nice. Well, we saw from the previous encounters between these two pairs that this is the third meeting and honours are shared. The last time they met, we saw, was in the Malaysian Open semi-final and the Chinese pair won. But the first time they were met was in the second round of the Denmark Open a year ago. So the Chinese pair will be wary of this.
Yeah. Played rock solid yesterday when they got their game going at 8:15. Iwanaga and Nakanishi. And, they tend to play a little bit more patient style than what we've seen here in the first game. I'm quite surprised by the development here. They have a really good defense and are hard to score against, but here they've really chosen to challenge the Chinese.
And this is 8 of the last 9 points for Iwanaga and Nakanishi. Because if you remember, they were 1-4 down. It's gone long of the back line, and 10-5 already after just 6 minutes of play. Wide of the centre line.
6-10.
Well, I can can tell you that Nakanishi took in a big gulp of air to try and calm her frustration after making that error.
Yeah.
And it is the number 6 seeds from Japan who go to the mid-game interval with a 4-point advantage. As Steen was saying, an interesting development.
Seconds. 20 seconds. Seven. Play.
So 11-7. The advantage to Iwanaga and Nakanishi.
It's super important phase now for the Japanese. I suspect the Chinese have underestimated them a little bit in the early stages, and now they're making a challenge. So how does the Japanese respond?
Brilliant. What a good interception from Liu Shangshu.
8-11.
Well, some people might not be so familiar with Iwanaga and Nakanishi. Steen, now that was the longest rally, 38 shots.
Yeah.
If you had to sort of sum up this Japanese pair about their qualities, what would that be?
Yeah, a little bit back towards old school Japanese with a really solid defense, quick on their feet, moving well. I think Nakanishi is the more dangerous of the two, the left-hander.
In what way?
That she's scoring more points, a little bit better eye for the opportunities. Perhaps it's the left-handed thing that seems to get it a little bit steeper sometimes when she attacks. But they're hard to beat, the two Japanese. But we can see here that the pace has gone up on the Chinese side.
Yeah. Tao Xiaoming, their coach, Chinese women's doubles coach. Oh, that's a great return of a very good drive serve.
12-10.
Liu and Tan are, I think, the only women's doubles pair where both players are capable of, or at least experimenting with the tumble serve. Not always it works.
That's her second service error, Iwanaga. Yeah, and I think that the other women's doubles pairs have to respond to that, and they have to try the tumble serve too.
You could say that in women's doubles there's not as much pressure on the service as there is in the mixed doubles or the men's doubles, but it would still be an asset to be able to perform in tumble serve. All.
5 of the 6 points since the mid-game interval to the Chinese combination.
Yeah.
That's a lovely shot.
Service over. Thirteen, 12.
Good play.
That's a nice block. I like that from Nakanishi.
Fourteen, 12.
Oh, that's
Good
brilliant.
play.
Absolutely brilliant.
They're winning a lot of points in the transition phase, Nakanishi and Iwanaga. When
15, 12.
transitioning from, oh, there was the sign of the sideways drift, I think. When transitioning from defense to attack, it's not easy for them to score in an all-out attack against the Chinese defense. So it's super important that when they have to lift, they do it whilst they're in control. So there's no easy points for Liu and Tan in that transition phase. There it is again. Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
So basically what you're saying is they're winning or setting up the rally when they're using this drive defence,
Yeah.
mainly cross-court.
Mainly cross-court, but that could possibly change. But so far the cross-court has been efficient also because we've talked about earlier that the Chinese are physically stronger in terms of strength, but not in terms of movement. So if you can get them to move, then weaker shots occur. They're really quick on their feet, Iwanaga and Nakanishi. But the former Olympic silver medalist and All England champions, Christina Pedersen and Camilla Rudi-Juel, they scored a lot of points in the same way in the transition phase, turning defense around.
17-12.
And this is really a strong start from the Japanese pair.
5-point advantage. Missed it. That was an opportunity.
13-17.
So for the Chinese, it becomes even more important to realize when their position is not good enough and they cannot just attack. They've got to, I mean, they could easily play clear here, playing up against the drift. Oy, mistake again from Tan Ning. If the Japanese get this first game, then it's going to be really interesting to see the second. I thought the Chinese were a huge favorite ahead of this match here, but they started out too slow.
Service over. 14-18.
And from a Japanese perspective, I would still emphasize now to play it past Liu Xiangshu at the net. Much rather take my chances against defending smashes of Tan Ning.
Oh, that's brilliant defence.
Yeah, and they fell victim to their own trap there, taking a chance where there wasn't really anyone. Immediate counter from Tan Ning.
Oh, that was well taken. Wow, my goodness. Where did that smash come from Iwanaga?
19-15.
Look how well they're covering the width of the court. She's there. She's in good position, Iwanaga.
2 points away from the opening game.
Game point 15.
So 5 game point opportunities for Iwanaga and Nakanishi.
Service over.
She was there, Iwanaga. She was looking for the chance.
20.
A little bit too big of a swing.
What a brilliant backhand drive. Hardly any backswing there from Liu Shangshu. Look at that. Just seemed to punch through with that shot.
Yeah. That's what she thinks of that.
Third game point opportunity for the Japanese pair.
Oi. That's one.
Pushed it long as a back line.
18-20.
I have a feeling she might have grazed her knee as well.
Yeah.
Nakanishi. Good rally.
There it is.
Yeah. And the opening game to the number 6 seeds, Rin Iwanaga and Kia Nakanishi of Japan. 21-18 opening game against the world number 1s in waiting, Liu Shangshu and Tan Ning. 21 minutes for that opening game and 21-18.
今そのまま速さこれ OK です相手を読んでるからちょっとまっすぐに整えてもう一回どうなったらねそれパートナーも次体入りやすいのかもねあと向こうのショートサーブすごくやりづらいけどこれちゃんと打ちて絶対ドライブっていうか合わせてあともなであとここはちょっと飛ばないからリターン数もうちょっと思いっきり取れるように いよ、レシーブすごくいい。た連続で決めるね。あとフォアの前同じ忘れないよ。余裕を持ってさ、速さ大きい。相手4秒的我就点位，而且他自己如果他放后掌的话，我直接上就点下来就够了，对吧？偶尔就抓一个他的后掌，往前就放着，大多数还是精力在往前，好不好？
逆风肯定一直
对，抽再说嘛，那如果先但是还是先把往前看重点，对吧？然后我们这边的话就是要去多去下压，多去控制，但是脚不能停，老是一拍打完以后没有连贯，一拍打完没有连贯，他们战斗力比较强，就老是顶，因为你自己老是不准的。等他你看我们这个中展防的时候，自己老丢自己的位置，两个人老是在啊，打合理，整个节奏。
Second game. Level play.
So the number 6 seeds from Japan, Rin Iwanaga and Kia Nakanishi, one game to the good against the number 1 seeds and soon to be world number 1s, Liu Shangshu and Tang Ning. That's a good smash.
Yeah. And that's going to be one of the questions, whether the Japanese can hold, especially Liu Shangshu, in the defense. Now she gets a little bit help from the drift. Liu. And they need to step forward with the rackets up. If they go back, I don't think they have a chance.
That's lovely.
Adjust the lift a little bit. The Japanese, and for Tan and Liu, obviously play the attack with the amount of patience required.
Oh, brilliant net shot from Iwanaga. This Japanese pair, Steen, are actually the 8th different pair from Japan to contest the women's doubles final here at the Denmark Open since the inception of the Super Series and World Tour. So that's in 18. This is the 18th event of the Super Series World Tour era. And some Japanese pairs have been in more than one final. It's a good spread of different Japanese pairs that are excelling at World Badminton.
And it coincides more or less with Park Ju-bong arriving in Japan 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Starting to work with the women's doubles players, developed fantastic defensive capabilities. And from then on, they put on more and more. And the game has developed into very, very interesting games. I also have to say, though, that I feel that there's some nations that have to catch up a little bit on the women's doubles area. So this is just a fantastic match. You can see the Japanese are stepping back now in the defense, and that's not the right solution because they won't be able to get it far enough back. They've got to maintain their strategy from the first game of countering.
Yeah, shuttle's coming at them a little quicker.
Exactly.
But it takes courage to stand the ground.
Yes, it's counterintuitive.
Yeah.
To step into it.
I'm interested, though, Steen, because you just said some of the other countries need to step up to the mark and maybe start improving. Of course, we saw only 4 different nationalities in the women's doubles discipline at quarter-final stage. Are you alluding to non-Asian countries? You'd like to see them step up a bit more in the women's doubles discipline?
2 steps, preferably.
Or 3.
Or 3.
Yeah.
But also some other Asian countries. I think there's a lot of them trying. But China, Korea, Japan, to some extent Indonesia, are ahead of the others. I would limit it to the 3. Then we have some single pairings from the other countries. We also have Tan and Tina from Malaysia. We've seen a couple of Thai pairs do well as of late, but there's too many pairs that are behind either on technical skills or physical capabilities, some on both. And that means that it's, in my opinion, not so deep in the women's doubles discipline.
No, there's more nations that keep producing excellent women's doubles pairs,
Same
and
nations.
then they keep dominating
It's
this
top heavy.
discipline. Yeah. But you've got to give huge credit to those nations that keep producing wonderful pair after wonderful pair, like China, like Japan, like Korea.
Yeah, exactly.
Well done them.
They set the benchmark for how to play. I saw, I guess it was Japan Open, where Victor Axelsen met Kento Momota, and he said Momota has been a huge influence in my development, because if I didn't develop, then Momota would just beat me thoroughly every single time. So he was the one, and that's the choice you have. You can surrender and say, okay, they're just too good, or you can raise the bar, practice better.
Practice smarter.
Yes. And I don't know about you, but it was deliberate that I didn't use the word starting with an H, and sounds like smarter, because I think better and smarter is the key.
Yes, exactly.
I think there's a lot that puts a lot into practice, but you've got to practice the right things as well.
Yeah. Yes, we have a saying that it's not practice makes perfect.
No.
It's only perfect practice that makes perfect.
Exactly. Practice makes you steady.
You've got to practice the quality. Oh, getting a warning here. Tan Ning. Frustration because the Japanese pair are back level.
Oh, she should have left that.
Yeah, that push from Liu Shangshu would have gone long of the back line, we suspect.
I like that drop shot there. Patient play from Liu.
But look at that backhand technique.
Yeah. Super play, but the Japanese were not alert to the fact that there was a chance. Wow. Good play. Super play. And when the Japanese, not the Japanese, when the Chinese, when they attack using mostly power with little angle, then it's possible for the Japanese, because they have such a good defensive technical skills, to use that power against the Chinese.
Well taken. That's simply not a good enough return of serve from Liu Shangshu. Eight-all.
Good flicker. Good flicker. Excellent. Oi!
Right,
Was a little bit loose.
yeah.
9-8.
But just, I think we heard Kęstutis Navickas, the coach of Alex Lanier, say early on in the tournament when Lanier struck first into the second game, don't let him breathe now we need to be mentally tough. And that's what the Japanese got to try to do here. Don't let Liu and Tan breathe. They thought they'd found the right plan. But it's all going south at the moment.
4 straight points for the Japanese pair.
Good flat reply.
And they go to the mid-game interval on a run of 5 straight points, Iwanaga and Nakanishi. I don't know if you noticed, Dean, there was a most peculiar ready stance from Tan Ning as she waited to receive serve.
Yeah.
11-8 in the second game, having already won the first.
ちょっと緊張し甘いだからね、腕が出たら少しか強いじゃなくて風が強い、これやられる、ね、それ分かってそこに言わなきゃ早く覚える。
20 seconds. 20 seconds. Time. Encore. 11-8.
So 11-8 the advantage to Iwanaga and Nakanishi, having already won the opening game. And I have to say, the way that the Chinese pair started this second game, racing to that 4-1 lead, I thought they were going to really start to dominate this second game.
I thought so too, and that's why it was so important for the Japanese to get to that 11-8 lead, because now they needed to start all over in the coaching, the Chinese team. Of course, important to be leading anyway, but I mean, it couldn't have been too positive a coaching. It's a little bit too high. Brilliant play.
Patient build-up.
Yes.
9.
And going for Tan Ning, who's looked a little bit weaker than her partner today.
Just watch this stance. It was almost as if she was goading her opponent previously to flick.
Yeah, leaning backwards a
Yeah.
little bit. Brilliant play again. And then they're not being able to create anything in the attack, the Chinese pair.
39.
Liu is firing full power and Tan Ning is not able to intercept. And if she intercepts, it's not something that's really dangerous because the Japanese pair are really quick with their rackets. So if I were the Chinese, I would start hitting sliced smashes, I would start hitting cross smashes, and make sure I stayed in balance so I could help my partner cover the court.
10, 13.
Well, it wasn't the best of serves, but Iwanaga chose to just lift it.
Yeah, they had no interest in taking any battles in the service situation with the Chinese. It's gone long.
And remember, Steen, it was the Chinese pair that chose ends. And when they chose that far side to start, I thought, I wonder whether that's a mistake.
Yeah. But I think they've underestimated the Japanese pair. I have underestimated the Japanese pair. That I clearly admit that. Yes.
Nice block. Oh, that's clever. I like that one.
It's fantastic play. And they're providing a blueprint for some of the other top pairs in women's doubles as how this can be done if Liu and Tan does not have more to give than what we're seeing today.
Longest rally of the match so far. That's a much better return of serve from Liu Shangshu.
Just lift. They're basically saying to Tan Ning, you haven't got anything that can hurt us from that backcourt. That's a strong statement.
Yeah. And I think there's signs that Liu Shangshu is trying to make a big difference at the front of the court and is over trying, as it were. That last error.
Sometimes what happens.
Vi har fundet dagens vinder fra konkurrencen ude i England. Og dagens vinder er Ella Lund. Så Ella Lund får hente en præmie ude i England.
Pushed wide. And it looks to me as if the Chinese pair are running out of ideas.
Yeah.
There was just enough spin and tumble on that net shot from Iwanaga to make it incredibly difficult for her opponent. Four points away from the biggest title of their careers, the Japanese pair. That's well left.
Yeah, and that's the positive thing from a Chinese perspective, is that they haven't really played well, and they're only 4 points adrift.
Yeah.
But there's not much room for errors anymore if they want to come back here, Liu and Tan.
I like that backhand block.
There's the cross smash. Racket skills.
Short. Yeah. Sort of got in each other's way when trying to defend the smash down the middle. Iwanaga and Nakanishi here. And that's where they hit the defensive shot, so short.
And that's what they got to be careful of, Iwanaga and Nakanishi, that they don't play the lifts a little bit too high, so they give too much time for Liu and Tan to take aim. Good play by Tan.
Brilliant defense. I like that.
Yeah.
On my word. That's an extraordinary shot from Nakanishi.
That's an important rally to stay 4 points ahead.
Remember, they haven't lost a final all year, Iwanaga and Nakanishi, and this is their 5th final. And I think one of the Chinese players, Tang Ning, is asking for some medical assistance. Yeah, she's been wearing a back support. Now she's wanting some spray.
Yeah, that was also a very strange movement, that one.
Yeah.
Twisting and turning her back.
So she's putting on the back support again. Well, from a Japanese perspective, they need to focus on keeping their concentration and momentum going.
Yeah, and sticking to their tactics, be disciplined. I think there was some small signs that they were a little bit off. Last 3-4 rallies, not the last one, but the 3-4 rallies ahead of that.
So 18-14 as play resumes. No, she didn't move terribly well back to that one.
No,
that's going wide.
yeah, she can't move. So she's going to go to the net now. They're going to have to play mixed doubles.
2 points away from the title, Iwanaga and Nakanishi.
Good serve.
Yeah, flicking her. That's what you suggested. She should just run forward and play the net. It's match point opportunities for Iwanaga and Nakanishi. Yeah, she can't move. And a tame end to this women's doubles, but this is a huge result for Rin Iwanaga and Kia Nakanishi. A first ever final at 750, and they've won their first 750 title. 21-18, 21-14 in 47 minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, in a moment we will begin the victory ceremony for the women's final of
The fourth time that a Japanese pair has won the women's doubles title here. I beg your pardon, it's the fifth time, isn't it? Fourth different Japanese pair to win the title here at the Denmark Open in the Super Series and World Tour era. 21-18, 21-14 in 47 minutes. And Steen, the first Japanese pair to win the four other times that they won. It was three different pairs because Fukushima and Hirota won the title twice. And every time that Japanese pairs have won the Denmark Open, prior to this, they've been the #1 seeds in the Super Series and World Tour era.
That's right.
Well, they've sort of broken that jinx, haven't they, of
Exactly.
needing to be the top seeds to win. Champions last week have to settle for second best this week. Liu Shengshu and Tang Ning.
With a score 21-18, 21-14, they're from Japan, Iwanaga and Kia Nakanishi.
Well, this is a huge step forward in the careers of Rin Iwanaga and Kia Nakanishi. Their first ever final and now title above a 500 level. And they've beaten the pair who will become world #1s come Tuesday next week.
We invite Mr. Eric Presley, CEO of the Lisa, to present the Badminton Denmark Master and the prize check. Head of Sport and Culture in the City of Odense, to present the Badminton Denmark Champion of all time and City Gift. Ladies and gentlemen, the medalists of the women's doubles category.
So a 9th career title for Rin Iwanaga and Kia Nakanishi. A 6th at World Tour level.
for the interview.
A lot of things need to be placed, but now I think we are ready for the interview. This is your biggest title so far in your career. What does it mean for you?
でお二人のキャリアの中で最高のタイトルを獲得なさったんですけれども、これはどういう意味があるんでしょうか？
今まで、最高でもスーパー500までしか優勝したことがなくて、今回初めて750の大会で優勝できてとても嬉しいです。
Of course, this is our biggest, highest title. We are very, very happy.
What was the secret today to win this match?
で今日の、勝利に導いた秘密何でしょうか？
昨日韓国の選手に勝ったことですごく自信がついたし、今日も自分たちならできるっていう風な強い気持ちを持って戦えたことが今日の勝因かなと思います。
Yesterday we won our opponents from the Korea, and it gave us a kind of a special confidence, and it was a boost to us. That must be the secret for today.
Thank you and a huge congratulations.
As I was saying, a huge step forward in the careers of Iwanaga and Nakanishi, winning this Denmark Open title. Well, next up, there is home interest with Anders Antonsen, the former champion from 4 years ago, up against the unseeded Koki Watanabe of Japan. Welcome back to Odense and finals day here at the Denmark Open. Next up is men's singles, and it's Anders Antonsen, the champion from 4 years ago, trying to become the first home player to win 2 men's singles titles in the Super Series and World Tour era. He's up against the unseeded Koki Watanabe, who is in his first final at 750 level. Well, as far as the men's singles draw is concerned, it was decimated